Alrighty then, Mr. Invincible. You mind telling me what brings you into my office today? Listen, I know that I mainly come in here and I talk about my inferiority complex with my own father or like my struggling relationship with my girlfriend, but I need to talk to you about some more of like what I have to deal with as my job. Oh, trust me, Invincible, I am well aware of all the struggles that come with being a superhero. Heck, that's why I'm a superhero therapist. I specialize in the superhero mind. Now then, what exactly happened to you? Okay, so I saw that there was an alien invasion on the news, and I'm new to this superheroing thing, so I thought, hey, I'd fly in, maybe give them a hand, like, do that superhero thing. Ah, yes, I saw a bit of that on television. You were fighting alongside the teen team. Yeah, and growing up with a superpowered dad, like, and always romanticizing what the superhero life would be, I was not expecting as much blood and guts as I saw. Well, Mr. Invincible, it's not all capes and speedos out there. Mr. Invincible, what brings you into my office today? So the superheroing thing has been affecting my grades, so like, I'm struggling a bit with that, and with my friend group, we wound up touring a college that I initially wanted to go to, and seems like my best buddy William's going to be going there. Ah, so you're afraid, given the life that you chose, that you will not be able to experience the things that people your own age typically experience? You know what? I've heard about this before. It is called Spider-Man syndrome, but you know what? I'm sure that you got this. Yeah, this has nothing to do with Spider-Man syndrome. Listen, my best friend's boyfriend got turned into a robot. Excuse me? Yeah, there was a guy there who was just capturing young men, cutting them up, and then turning what was left of them into robots. Did did you stop the guy? I mean, I did, but I don't know, it was messed up. Like, I'm still trying to figure out what he did with all the body parts he didn't use for making robots. Hey, Doc, you have a moment? Invincible, it's after hours. Like, I do have a life outside of dealing with my patients. Oh, no, this isn't like a trauma or like an inferiority complex thing. Outside of like my dad and my mom, I don't really have anyone I can talk to like about my superpowers that isn't like a superhero. So I just wanted to get some perspective from like, one of you normies' points of view. I'm just going to ignore the fact that you used the N word, but okay, yeah. Lay it on me. What's going on? Well, you see, there was an alien that was heading towards Earth, and my dad told me to go stop it. You're a superhero, so, I can understand why he'd have you do that. So, yeah, there I was in the middle of getting what might have been to this point the worst ass whooping of my life, and I look up at the guy and I go, hey, time out. And he just accepted it. Wait, what? From what I gathered, the guy just worked at Planetary OSHA. Ah, Mr. Invincible, welcome back to my office. How can I help you today? Well, you know how those aliens from before I was telling you about that invaded and I just had no way of mentally processing the gore at the time? Yes, I'm aware of that. Are you experiencing any form of post-traumatic stress from that experience? I mean, from time to time, but I don't know. They've been coming back pretty regularly lately, and every time they come back, they seem to age up rapidly. And the fact that they age fast is making you think about your own mortality, and you're struggling with that. No, that's not what I'm struggling with at all. I'm struggling with the fact that my dad wound up going to fight them, and he came back 2 days later with the cleanest beard I've ever seen. Excuse me? Meanwhile, I'm out here barely able to grow 3 hairs on my upper lip. Did you book a therapy appointment because of beard envy? Hey, if you saw that beard, you'd also be envious. Ah, Mr. Invincible, what brings you into my office today? Yeah, I just need some advice on something, and like, it's a bit of a moral gray area for a superhero. Huh, moral gray area. Are you about to Batman something? No, I'm more or less going to be red hooding something, potentially. Oh, dipping your toes into the criminal underworld, alright. Let's hear it. What are you doing? So there's this guy, right? He's kind of like a hitman for what is essentially the mafia, and he's really no threat to a guy like me. Like mostly he just like takes out people that are already criminals. So, aside from like when he's doing like bank robberies and stuff like that, he's not really much of a threat. Okay, then, so he's a scrub. What about this scrub? He wants me to arrest the guy who is currently running the mafia because apparently he is really bad for the local community. Sounds to me like that minnow caught you a bass. Go for it. Alright, Mr. Invincible, I understand that you wanted to. Jesus Christ.
Hello there, doctor.
What happened to you? You look terrible.
So you know that guy that I was asking you if I should help or not?
Did he do this to you? Like, I thought you said that he was a scrub.
He is a scrub. And the mafia boss, he didn't hire strong guys either. So there was this one guy. Oh my god, he beat my ass, man. He beat my ass bad.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Like, you genuinely do look terrible.
Yeah, so I think that I'm going to want to see another therapist. Would you mind referring me to somebody else? Because this ass whooping was 1000% your fault.
I understand why you feel that way, but at the end of the day, it was your decision to go.
I can taste the color purple because of you.
Hello there, I will be taking over as your new therapist from now on, Mr. Invincible. My name is Dr. Hannibal. It is a pleasure to meet you. Well, shoot, I could talk about how my previous therapist led me to one of the worst ass whoopings of my life, but I think I'm going to talk about my girlfriend instead. You want to talk about your Mary Jane to your Spider-Man? Alright. Go on then. Yeah, she kind of broke up with me because I was keeping secrets from her. From the sound of it, it sounds like you are no longer in a relationship with this girl and therefore you should not care. You should find yourself a new girl and be with her. As I like to say, there is nothing that tastes sweeter on the lips than a new girl. Look, I just don't want to hop from one relationship straight into another. I think I'll try like working things out with her and explain to her that I'm a superhero. This would be a very confusing time for her. You think that's confusing? She goes from blonde hair, blue eyes 1 second to black the next. Mr. Invincible, I saw what happened on the news. Do you want to talk about it? Look, I just started to be able to eat solid foods again. I'd rather not talk about it while the wounds are still fresh. It is unhealthy for you to be bottling up all of these emotions. Now then, how did it feel being sunned by Omni-Man? The ironic part is that I actually am his son, and he sunned me in front of the whole world, killing thousands of people needlessly. Oh, I see then. This is the first time you actually said who your father was. I was curious about which superheroes that you were descended from, so given your guys' power set, it does make sense. So, yeah, that ass whooping, like, it felt extra harsh because it was my own father trying to murder me. On top of that, like, he called my mom a pet too, so, like, that's just extra salt on the wound. It will take time, but just like your physical wounds, your mental ones will heal.